Okay, so let me just get the music ready. We're going to start on our back today. So let's just share that screen. Really start with like hugging your legs in first, kind of just rocking side to side. So right off the bat, we're beginning, like I mentioned, on our backs with the knees into the chest, and we're really starting early, right out the gate, creating that connection with the body, lower body and upper body. It doesn't matter how close your thighs are to your chest. What matters is that there's even the most minute connection of lower body to upper body. So even if it's just your thighs kind of touching on your low belly, maybe even take a moment to roll out the ankles now that the feet are off the mat. And even if you'd like, giving the back of the scalp a little bit of a massage. So once you're done rolling out the ankles, you can just kind of rock your head at the back and forth. And we're going to plant the feet down gently onto the mat. Keep your heels nice and close to your bum. For now, we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths, arms by your sides, palms facing upward. Fait que les deux pieds sont déposés sur le tapis, les bras sur nos côtés. With your knees bent and your feet planted, you'll notice that it starts to remove that natural curvature that occurs at the bottom of your back. So you should feel the entirety from the base all the way through the mid-back, all the way up towards your shoulder blades should be fully connected to your mat, to the floor, to the earth. Before we start to move and to integrate and to breathe and to practice, I invite you to just take this moment to give thanks for everything that has happened since the last time you found yourself on your mat. The ups and downs. And everything that has occurred from the last time you found your body on your mat. Once you give it thanks, just allow it to dissipate. Let it remove itself from your vortex, from your space, from your sphere. And start to build up excitement, joy, connection with the body, with movement. And on your next exhale, try to release any apprehension, any judgment, any expectations. Fait que tout ce qui s'est passé depuis la dernière fois que vous étiez sur le tapis, on prend un petit moment pour lui remercier, puis après ça, avec une expiration, on les enlève de nos têtes, de nos énergies. And slowly flutter your eyes open if they were closed. If your feet aren't already nice and close to your bum, bring them closer. You just should be able to graze your heels with your fingertips. Arms are by your sides, but now we turn the palms to face the floor. Really nice and slowly start to press some life, some weight, some importance into your 2 feet. And slowly, really nice and slowly, start to peel your back up and away from the floor, maybe starting to inch your shoulders together a little bit, but keeping your arms by your side. On enlève les fessiers de nos tapis très, très, très lentement. Peut-être on marche les épaules plus proches ensemble, mais on garde les bras sur le tapis. We have yet to really even begin moving, so it might take some time to get the hips up. You might notice with a few breaths, you find a little bit more availability, a little bit more space to press them higher up to the sky. Back of the neck is parallel to the floor. Take 2 more. Les 2 pieds poussent également dans le tapis, tous les 4 coins de nos pieds. So your toes, your heels, your pinky toe side, and your big toe side all press evenly into the mat. Last breath in. And then maybe start to melt your shoulders away from each other and really nice slow exhale. Roll yourself down, 1 vertebra at a time. And again, bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. We're going to extend our legs to the sky, release your arms to your sides, and just roll out your ankles again. If you want, you can even lift up your arms and roll out your wrists too. So really getting all of those creaks and those cracks out before we start to move a little bit more. And we're going to wake up the abdominals nice and early today. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the head, neck, and shoulders, so that you're going to activate the abdominals right away. And what we're going to do is you're going to lower the left leg and bring your hands, they don't need to make a loud clap, but just like a little clap underneath your right leg. And we're going to switch and always kind of lift up the shoulder blades away from the floor, fluttering those kicks, opening your arms up, and then bringing the hands to clap behind the alternating legs. We're going to do 4 more each side. So 4, 3, last 2, and 1. You can bring both legs up, and then the feet come down onto the mat. Take a moment, lift up your hips to release that, and exhale, bring it back down, knees into the chest, and rock side to side. So we're gonna do 2 more times, a total of 8 on each side, or 16 in total. So lift the legs up. Head, neck, and shoulders peel off the floor. We start with the left leg dropping, clap behind the right. So 8, 7, halfway there with 4. Un autre 2 fois. Last one. Do whatever feels nice once you come down. It's over. For the second cycle, you can lift up your hips or give yourself a nice squeeze with the knees into the chest, or both. And we have 1 more, last time, legs in the air. This time, let's drop the right leg down first, clap behind the left leg. So 8. Halfway there, 4. Last 2, and 1. Whew, let that go. Whatever feels nice. You could even windshield wiper the knees. Hello, 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 abdominals. And just making it really, really nice and easy. You're gonna roll onto your side, left or right, completely up to you. You're just gonna be here for a second to peel yourself up and find yourself on your hands and onto your knees. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees always underneath our hips. So we want to be a really nice, perfect tabletop here. Insides of the elbows face one another. So if you were to do a push-up, you would want your elbows to pop out to the sides. You don't want the insides of the elbows facing forward. Engage all of your fingers, most notably index and your thumb. Fait qu'on veut que le doigt index et la pouce sont très, très, très puissants ici. A lot of power coming out of those 2 fingers. Take a deep breath in your tabletop. Cat-cow for 3. With intention, drop down your belly. Maybe feel the skin expand. Feel the lengthening of those abdominal muscles that we just worked out. Peel your gaze up to look at the sky. And exhale, belly button sucks up towards the spine. Press the pelvis forward. 2 more times. Je vous encourage de prendre votre temps ici. Dans les inspirations et les expirations. Last one. Flat back, neutral spine, breathe in, curl into the toes, hips up high, first downward facing dog, exhale. You can walk your feet out, lifting up one foot or the other, or you can keep the big toe mound on the floor and pedal out your feet. Je vous encourage d'explorer un petit peu votre chien à tête inversée. Notez comment vos corps bougent. When you press your hands down more, what happens to your chest? When you bend your knees slightly, what happens to your sits bones? When you release your shoulders out of your ears, where do you need to compensate to hold that weight? Become very intimate with all of the parts of your body. And that word intimate meaning just a very deep understanding, a close and upfront knowledge of your body and how one movement inspires the rest of the body to compensate, to open, or to stretch. So votre prochaine inspiration, regarde vers les mains, look towards your hands and walk up towards your wrists. Notre première demi-remontée, halfway lift for the first time, flat back, crown of the head forward. Exhale and fold. Just one last time, breathe in, flat, 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 flat back, just as you were on your hands and your knees. Et on expire, on plonge. Let the head be heavy, arms, hands, neck, shoulders. Maybe even creating a slight bend in the knees to hold up the upper body. Maybe saying yes and no with the head. And notice as you start to engage your legs, brain begins to tell the feet to press firmly into the floor and slowly start to rise. On déroule très, très, très lentement. Imagine your spine stacking each vertebra so that you can find your full length here, standing tall, rolling your shoulders back once you've reached the top. And we're going to get right into our flows. So a deep breath in circles the arms up to rise, hands meet in the sky. Les deux mains en prière et on plonge, expiration. On inspire un demi-remontée, halfway lift. Plant the hands down, exhale, step back, plank. Take a deep breath in. Drop down to your knees, wrap your elbows to your sides, and slowly lower yourself down. Deep breath in, baby cobra. Peel the chest up and away from the floor. On expire, puis on relâche. Les mains en dessous de nos épaules. Position de planche, plank. Breathe in. And hips up high, exhale, downward dog. On inspire par le nez. On ouvre la bouche et on expire. Deux pieds ensemble, both feet come together, right side first. Breathe in. Knee to your nose, exhale. Two more times, up. And connect. Last time. Breathe in, three-legged dog. Send your right foot forward through your hands and drop down onto your left knee. On dépose le genou en arrière et on marche sur la jambe droite. So you're going to walk up onto your right leg. A lot of pride in the spine. Exhale, kind of sink into that back hip. So right now my leg is obstructing it, but on the other side, my left hip is really sinking down. So there's pride in the spine. Take two here. On your next exhale, drop your left hand down to the inside of your right foot and just gently twist into the body, peeling your right hand up towards the sky. Introducing twists into the spine. Take a deep breath in. Come back down. Your hands are framing your foot. Inhale. Just pick up your heart from your thigh. And exhale, hands come back down. Curl into the back toes. On vient sur les orteils en arrière. Position de planche. On inspire. Again, drop down onto your knees. Modified chaturanga. Exhale. Uncurl the toes. Baby cobra. Breathe in. Exhale. Come down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Keep your elbows glued to your sides. Inhale. Plank. Exhale. Hips up high. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Côté gauche maintenant, left side. Up, on inspire. 3 fois le genou au nez. Fourth time, we kick the leg up. Exhale, take your time. Left foot in between the hands. Drop down onto the back knee. Good. Inhale. Walk yourself up onto that left thigh. So now you can see my right hip is really drawing down onto the floor. And we're creating that really nice 90-degree angle here with the left foot. We're going to take 2. Exhale, right hand on the inside of the left foot. Twist towards your left leg. Breathe in. Left hand to the floor. On inspire, on lève ici dans la torse. So lifting up the torso. Exhale, come back down. Activate the back toes. Send the left foot back, plank. Exhale, drop down onto your knees, glue your elbows to your sides, and control that lower down. On inspire, baby cobra. Exhale, back down, position de planche, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Take a deep breath in and out. This time we're gonna walk our hands to our feet, meeting at the back of the mat. On marche les mains vers les pieds, on inspire, demi-remontée, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up to the sky, breathe in. And hands to your heart, breathe out. Alrighty. So our hands are gonna take a different position here. They're gonna come out right onto the hips. And we're gonna take a really nice, healthy step forward with the right foot. Good, and then shimmy that back foot back. Heel is lifted off the floor. So we're in lunge mode here. Lunge legs. If you notice that you can't find a really nice balance with your torso, just try to soften the back knee a little bit. And then find that drop of the tail and the lift of the pelvis. Arms sweep up, breathe in. Shoulders out the ears, breathe out. Take 2 more. Last one. A little bit of movement here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, runner's lunge. Arms fly by the sides. Inhale, back to a high lunge. Exhale into your runners. Last time, up. And exhale, runner's lunge. Hands come to your heart center. Soften your back leg. Spring yourself up. Breathe in. Flex into your left foot. Exhale. Try to find that toppling tree. One long line from the crown of the head to the back heel on the left. 2 more. Bend that back leg, sweep it up, breathe in, arms come up with it. And then drop the left foot, open up the arms, swan dive, exhale. On inspire, demi-remontée, halfway rise. Exhale, find your plank to chaturanga with or without the knees this time, your choice. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. On expire, chien à tête inversée, downward dog, exhale, take a deep breath in. And out. Encore, on marche les mains vers les pieds. Walk back towards your feet. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rises us up. Circle the arms high to the sky. Les mains devant le cœur en prière, expiration. Take a cleansing breath here, in and out. Exactement la même chose comme l'autre côté. So you can keep your hands on your hips if you'd like, and then bring the left leg forward. If that scares you, if you don't have the grippiest of mats, you can always just kind of hop your way. But do so slowly, carefully, but grippier, the better. Always get those sticky, sticky mats. Those are really the best. Hands on the pelvis and on the low back if you would like to notice that equalization in the spine. Maybe soften the back knee, even if the leg is not fully active, to compensate for this back variation, because when my leg is very active, I tend to curve in the spine. Always remember though that there's a lot of activity back here. There's a lot of strength, even though the knee is softened, arms up. For 3, shoulders out the ears. High lunge, inhale. Runner's lunge, exhale. On inspire, les mains vers le ciel. On expire, on dépose la poitrine parallèle avec le plancher. Last one, up and back. Hands to heart center, soften the back leg, pop yourself up, take the time you need to find your toppling tree. Flexion toujours dans le pied en arrière. Last one. Bend that back knee, sweep everything up, breathe in, flush it out with a flow. On dépose le pied droit et on expire, on plonge. On inspire, demi-remontée, halfway lift. Plank to chaturanga, à ton choix, soit avec ou sans les genoux. Breathing in, upward dog. Beautiful, exhale, hips up high, downward dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Good, come high to the toes, bend the knees. Step, step, walk, or gently float to your hands, halfway rise. Exhale and fold. Inhale brings us all the way up. Les deux mains devant le cœur, on expire. On inspire par le nez. On ouvre la bouche et on expire. Good, let it go. We're going to shake everything out. I love to do this because there's a little bit of mechanics that come into the practice. And if you're like me and you need to flow it out, just move your body any way that feels nice. When you are ready, feet or hips width distance, we're going to find a chair pose, position de chaise. Fait qu'on plie dans les genoux, send your arms back, breathe in, and come up on that inhale, and then exhale, sink into your seat. Good. Shoulders are out of the ears, arms are really nice and powerful here. Take 2. Maybe you sink a teeny tiny bit on that exhale, last one. Hands to heart center, puff out the chest, breathe in, keep the knees slightly bent, and then exhale, twist over to the right side. Left elbow hooks onto the outside of the right knee. Always remember, if that's not accessible, then the forearm or towards the wrist can come onto the leg, and you can reach your right arm up, whether you're in that full twist or the variation. If your hands are not in prayer, bring them back to prayer. Keeping this twist, shift the weight into your right foot, slightly lift up your left. Take your time to send it back into that twisted lunge. C'est normal que le ventre veut coller sur la cuisse. Your belly will want to glue onto your thigh and kind of hold itself up, but the prayers in your hands, the prayer pose in your hands is what's gonna peel the belly away. Last one. Keeping this twist, left hand is gonna come down onto the inside of the right leg. Ooh, I know the leg is feeling it. Reach up with the right fingertips. Now we're in an even deeper version of that twist that we were in earlier. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hold. On inspire ici. Expiration, main droit à l'intérieur du pied droit. Right hand to the inside of your right foot. Turn your left toes 90 degrees. And now peel and twist left arm to the sky. You might know what's coming. Take your time. Find your way into your warrior two. You might need to give your quad a little break so you can extend the leg and then sink back into it. Arms are parallel to the floor. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. Straighten your front leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn onto your right heel. Squeeze your shoulders together as you peel your chin up. Open up the throat and hinge at the hips. Exhale. Take your time. Slowly fold. You can grab onto your ankles if you'd like. You can bring blocks to the floor, or you can place your hands just underneath your face. We always want to try to maintain somewhat of a micro bend in the knees, never locking our joints, and trying to send the weight a little bit more into the toes. Last two. Take your time, slowly peel up into a halfway lift, wide-legged halfway lift. Walk your hands towards your right foot as you turn onto your right heel. Walk the right foot open a lot so that you have room for your hands to land underneath your shoulders, and now we're on those back toes. You can choose to keep your low lunge active if you'd like, or you can make it passive by dropping down onto that back knee. So really up to you, whichever variation works best. I'm gonna stick with active, really feeling that fire in the hips today. Sometimes in a more still moment, it's nice to close the eyes and really just delve deeply into the breath and into the way that your body feels. Last two. Good. Slowly soften the left knee down onto the floor. Heel toe the right foot. Maintenant le pied droit entre les deux mains. And you're gonna slowly walk yourself back as you lift up your right toes. You might have to glide your heel with you and just sit down onto your left heel. Hands are framing the leg. You might want to even widen them a little bit. You can keep them forward or you can keep it here. But if you bring it forward, it makes for a lot more balance if you'd like to bring your chest down towards the right leg, making it very passive. Last one. You really want to feel that yummy extension right behind the knee and even into the hamstring. Quand on est prêt, très lentement, on remet les mains sur le tapis et on marche le pied droit. Mais on marche pas. We're not walking. We're just dropping the right foot down. Walk forward. Find your plank pose. Step back. And we can either come into chaturanga with or without the knees. Breathe out. Upward dog or baby cobra for your back bend. Beautiful. Exhale for downward facing dog. Take two here. Coming high to the toes, bending the knees, stepping, walking, or floating to the hands. Demi-remontée, on inspire. Et on plonge, on expire. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart, breathe out. Take a moment. Tout ça sur l'autre côté, same thing, other side. Feet or hips width distance. We're keeping this variation of chair today. Bending into the knees, sweep your arms back and up, breathe in. We're gonna hold our chair for 3. Hands come to the heart, puff out the chest, breathe in, and then twist to the other side. So right elbow hooks onto the left leg. You really want to even out your knees. This side, the right knee is really going to want to compensate in that twist. So send the right knee back, keeping your hands prayer or extending and flying your arms out to the side. Last one. Good. If you've flown out your hands, bring them back to a prayer pose, shifting the weight into the left foot, lifting up the right. Take your time, find your lunge, and then really slowly try to peel your belly away from the thigh slightly, just so that it's not relying on it. Take 2. Next exhale, right hand drops down to the inside of the right foot. You may need to shimmy that back leg back to widen your stance. Left fingertips to the sky, twist in the spine, breathe in. Exhale, left hand, left hand, excuse me, on the inside of the left foot. Turn onto the back toes, 90 degrees, and the right hand peels up to the sky. Try to keep that 90-degree bend in the knee. I know the quad hurts. Pressing into the feet, come up, straighten the front leg, give it a bit of a break, and then exhale, sink into the front knee to find your warrior 2. Same thing, hands on the hips, straighten that front leg. Try not to lock the knee, turn onto the left toes. And squeeze the shoulders and elbows, breathe in. Hinging at the hips. Exhale and fold. Maybe you find the same variation as you did before. Maybe you don't. Can be a little bit scary to bring the weight into the toes. There's that worry of kind of barrel rolling forward, which is why with each exhale, you just want to inch yourself forward 1 millimeter or so. Bringing your hands down just below your face if they're not there already. Wide-legged halfway lift. Breathe in and walk towards your left foot, turning onto the heel, and the right toes are glued to the mat as you lift up that heel. Active or passive, really your choice. Keep sending the right hip forward and engaging the glutes by sending the left hip back. Sur la prochaine expiration, on descend le genou en arrière, right knee comes down onto the mat, on marche le pied gauche entre les deux mains, and then you uncurl those back toes, lift up the left toes, glide yourself down. No rush to get there. Pour plus de balance, si on veut déposer la poitrine un petit peu vers le plancher, on ouvre les mains à une distance de nos tapis, peut-être même plus. Keep engagement in those front toes, flexing in the left foot. Even though this is passive, instead of thinking of gluing your forehead down to your leg, Thinking of lifting your chest almost as though you want your chest to touch your toes. Slowly coming out of this stretch, leaning forward, coming back onto the front leg. And then you can slowly send the legs back. You can come into a tabletop first if you like, and then engage yourself into a plank just to give yourself a moment out of that stretch. Take a deep breath in, and then find that chaturanga exhale. Upward dog or baby cobra, breath in. Downward facing dog, exhale, let it go. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and let it out. Coming high to the toes, bend the knees, step, step, walk, or float to the hands. Flat back, halfway lift. Et on plonge et on expire. Inhale to rise. Hands come to the heart, exhale. Cleansing breath here, in and out. Shake it all out. Limbs, arms, legs, wrists, ankles, hands, feet, all of that. So we're going to come into a quick little balancing series. We haven't done this in a little while, but we're going to be balancing, and we're going to have a lot of that opening and a lot of that twisting. So today we've been twisting a lot. I want to promote what happens when we twist. This is a great time to take a break to drink some water if you'd like. But what happens when we twist the body is that we kind of compress the lungs a little bit because of our rib cage. And so we feel like when we breathe, it goes. And that's a perfect practice. What I love about twists is that if you want to maintain that really nice fullness in your breath, you have to slow it down so that your lungs aren't trying to quickly expand while your rib cage is kind of twisting it a little bit, right? So you're going to notice that. That's what I want us to pay attention to here today in the twist, is the diaphragm, the abdominals, the rib cage, those intercostal muscles that hold the rib cage together and give it the flexibility that it has. So we're going to bring our hands to our hips. We're going to start with the right knee lifted, and just simply bring the right hand to the right knee. The foot is always flexed. It's almost like you want to stamp the foot on the floor. Sweep the arm up, breathe in, and then just drop it down to the floor, keeping the palm facing forward. And then when you're ready, on a slow exhale, pushing the hand into the knee and the knee into the hand. So right now, just finding that balance. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can always peek towards your left extended arm. If you're feeling extra jazzy, you can try closing the eyes. That is definitely a perspective shifter. On the next inhale, slowly guide your right knee forward, and you're going to swap. So the left hand is going to come on the outside of the right knee. Right arm drops, breathing in, sweeping it up. And exhale as we sweep it back, reaching the arm behind us. And the reason why the hand is on the outside of the knee is because we're actually pushing into it. So push that right knee into the left hand. Find a little bit more length on your left leg, trying not to lock the knee. On veut trouver un petit peu plus de longueur dans la jambe gauche et peut-être on garde vers le côté droit ou complètement en arrière. Last two. Breathing in, bring the entire torso back to center. Drop the right foot and hinge at the hips, fold. Just a half sun salutation here. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, folds. Inhale, peels us all the way up, root to rise. Hands to your heart. Take a moment. You can even roll out that ankle if you want to talk about a perspective shifter. Such a tiny, tiny, tiny part of the body, our ankle, could find so much strength and burning into it, right? So the hands on the hips, we're going to do exactly the same thing. Other side, left knee lifts. And we always take a moment here, even placing the hand on the knee. Notice where you can really delve into the pose. I'm just going to turn to show here. Maybe the torso is just a little bit too relaxed. Can you peel it up a little bit? Maybe knowing what's coming, we're already starting to soften into the right knee too much. Can we lengthen it a little bit more? Shoulders out the ears. When you are ready, flexion in that foot, open up the leg. Maybe open up the arm. Finding that point of focus. On trouve quelque chose idéalement qui bouge pas. You want to find that one thing that isn't moving and you want to mimic its stillness. Really nice and slowly guide that left knee back. When you're ready, swapping hands, making sure it's on the outside of that leg. Sweep up, left arm. Exhale, sweep it back. Notice how much time you might have to take on that sweep back. Same thing like in that wide-legged forward fold. And I said, bring the weight into the toes and we're scared to barrel roll forward. Just because we're sweeping the arm back doesn't have to happen in one fell swoop. Can you get more pride in your spine? Can you get more length in your standing right leg? Breathe in, torso up, back to center, fingertips to the sky, breathing in. And when you're ready, dropping that left foot down, exhale and fold. You can turn to the front or the back of your mat, whichever. Inhale, halfway rise. And just come into a forward fold here. Exhale. You can grab for opposite elbows, finding ragdoll. Releasing the hands from the elbows, slowly rolling up. On déroule très, très, très lentement, une vertèbre à la fois. Rolling your shoulders back once you've reached the top. Take a really nice deep breath in and an audible sigh as you exhale. Engage that power at the back of the throat. 2 more. Last one. Taking your time to step towards the top or the back of your mat, whichever point of it that you are at. Take a deep breath in, circle the arms up, and just simply bring your hands to prayer. Exhale. Step out to the length of your mat. So almost like we were in a, wide-legged forward fold. And we're going to do this 6 times just to bring some invigorating flow into the body, where we bend into the knees, cross the arms, circle them up. At the top, cross them, and then we create that bottom bounce here. So breathe in, up. Exhale, come down, and we bounce and up. Three, 2, last one. When you come to the bottom, stay here, full exhale, cross the arms, and then bring them to the thighs. Shift the body weight back and forth. So we're gonna come into a really, really deep side squat here. So let's start over on the right side. So the hands are gonna come down onto the right, and you're gonna actually turn, lifting up the heel. This will be a lot easier. We're gonna lift the right heel and then lift the left toes. And so kind of slide that left heel out as much as you can. Now, option is to keep this heel lifted, and just maybe with the elbows, that's where we create that really nice juicy bend, bringing the torso closer to the floor. If we have that availability, or if after a few breaths we find some space, you might be able to lower that right heel down onto the floor. Keeping the left toes flexed. Deep side squat here. Let's hold for 3 more. Maybe bringing your hands to prayer if you're looking to challenge your balance. Last one. If your hands are in prayer, bring the hands back down. I would suggest bringing them kind of close-ish to the left leg, just to find that balance so you can shift back to center, lifting both legs here. Take a moment in the middle. Not lifting, lengthening both legs. And then when you're ready, same thing. Now we walk over to the left side. I would start with lifting up the left heel just so that you could find that extension on the right. And then the stickier the mat, this is where it gets troublesome because you got to kind of shimmy that foot a little bit. And again, find your place. Shoulders are never crunching into the ears. Look how much space we're creating in the chest and the neck. Last 2. Really nice and extra slowly. This is why we try not to lock any of the joints. Coming out of these deeper poses is really, really precarious. Taking the time to heel toe the feet, hips with distance. Bend into the knees significantly so that the chest can rest on it. And then slowly roll yourself up. Shake it all out. And we're gonna flush that out with a beautiful flow, top, bottom, back, front of the mat, whatever feels best. Inhale, arms to rise. This is your last one with me today, so give it all that gusto. Exhale, folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Finding your plank, either stepping or hopping, whatever you're called to, and chaturanga. Upward dog, breathing us in. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Keep your down dog, exhale. One more inhale. Drop down to the knees, exhale. On vient sur les genoux. Swinging your legs around the body. My favorite hip stretch, even more so than pigeon, because to be very honest, practicing pigeon too much is actually a little bit detrimental to the hips over time, especially for anybody who does yoga a lot. So this is a really, really nice way to compensate for that. So you can set up either from up here, bringing your right foot to your left knee, and then you could scoot yourself down and make your way down slowly. Or you can take this time to maybe create an ab activation and lower yourself all the way down first. And then bring the right foot to the left knee, whatever you'd like. But always flex that foot that's on the knee. So this case, it's the right foot on the left knee. Flexion, 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 toujours dans le pied qui est sur le genou, dans cette position, cet étirement. So this stretch calls for shortening that musculature in the calf, or in the shin rather, so that you just make sure that your knee is safeguarded. On peut joindre les mains juste en dessous ou en arrière le genou, so either below or behind. As you exhale, think of that right knee pressing away from you as you pull the left knee into the chest. On your next exhale, whenever that is, take your time to bring your left foot onto the mat first. Extend the right leg up to the sky, and then exhale, bring the right foot down to the floor. The 2 feet are going to remain together, so the soles of the feet stay together, and we're dropping our knees wide. So our knees are going to come out, arms extend in front of us, palms are facing each other, engaging the head, neck, and shoulders, and we're going to do 15 little pulses here. So take a deep breath in, and we're going to exhale with each pulse. So inhale. We have 15. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Hands on the outsides of the knees, bring the knees together. When you're ready, switching sides, left leg up, and then bend into the knee. Flexion in the foot. Maintenant, c'est le genou droit qui vient vers le corps et c'est le pied gauche qui reste, mon Dieu, flex. I completely forgot the word for flexion there for a second. Flexion dans le pied gauche. Every time you exhale, that's when we pull the right knee in, left knee starts to disappear away from the body. Last 2. Soften the hands so the right foot comes to the floor first, left leg extends, and then drops down to the floor. Same thing. So soles of the feet together, drop the knees open, extension in the arms, les paumes un vers l'autre, et on pulse encore pour 15. So take a deep breath in as you engage, and then pulse between the legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and come down. Bring your knees together, extending the left leg, right knee comes into the chest, left hand on the outside of the right leg, supine twist. So you want to pick up your hips, roll onto the side, and tuck them underneath you. Si le genou ou le pied vient pas sur le tapis, on reste le pied droit sur la jambe gauche. This is a great variation, or you can always place a block under the bent knee. Trying to find extension in the right arm. If not, you can always keep the elbow bent, like a cactus arm. This is one of the deeper twists and stretches that you can find in the entire directory of yoga. There are some very deep ones, but this is up there. And this is a nice way to notice the depth, the length, how profound your breathing is while you're twisting. Take one last one on this side. Très, très, très lentement, on revient sur le dos. Au milieu, coming back to the center, onto your back. Take your time. Neutral spine first before doing anything. And then when you're ready, switching sides. Genou gauche vers le corps, main droite à l'extérieur. So right hand on the outside of the left leg. Notice how I pick up the hips to tuck one underneath the other. Really nice and slowly coming back to center. Take your time. Absolutely no rush out of a spinal twist. Never, never. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest, les bras autour de nos jambes pour un gros câlin. Really nice big hug as you bring your forehead up towards your knees. Just take one full breath here, in and out. And then inhale through the nose, fully, deeply, all the way to the top of that inhale. Then hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. And exhale, final Shavasana. On relâche tout, expiration. Either legs long or knees bent to safeguard the low back, whatever feels best. And just as we did at the beginning of class, I asked you to give thanks to everything that has happened since the last time you found yourself on your mat. Here I ask that you give thanks to your body and to your practice. Taking this time to scan the body entirely. On va trouver un scan du corps complet. On commence avec les orteils. Et ça monte, et ça monte, et ça monte. It climbs up the scan, noticing how your body feels. And just creating that beautiful union with your breath. When you are ready, finding movement in the fingers and in the toes. And if you'd like, finding that full body stretch once you've awakened parts of the body, brought it back here to this space. When you are ready, rolling onto one side, fetal position. And on an inhale, really nice and slowly pressing yourself up. On décolle le torse et on vient pour s'asseoir. Fierté dans la poitrine, dans le dos, all that pride in the chest, in the back. Chin is humble, so it's somewhat bowed. Eyes are closed, hands either on the knees or in front of the heart for our 3 closing breaths. In and out. Inhale. This moment of gratitude, as we have already taken the time to thank our bodies in Shavasana, we take this time to thank the practice of yoga for being available to us. Taking this time to thank our minds for being sharp, for also being malleable and willing to grow with us as we realize what no longer serves us. Je prends ce petit moment aussi pour vous remercier, pour me laisser l'honneur de vous guider et de partager votre pratique avec moi. And as always, I remind you to choose courage over comfort. Namaste.